Hello everyone, welcome to Lime Guru channel. In this video, we will learn about event-driven architecture. So let's get started. So in event-driven architecture, different services or different components of your architecture communicate with the help of the event. What is event? Event, it's a significant change in state. Significant change in state. What I mean by significant change in state, let's take an example of an e-commerce store. So let's say you in an e-commerce store, you have your architecture which is following a service oriented architecture, and there are different services. In terms of, you have a order service which accepts the order. There is a payment service which takes care of the deducting the payment or the payment gateway, all of those things. There is an inventory service. Whenever an order gets placed, it manages the inventory in terms of increasing the inventory or reducing the inventory based on whether order is getting placed or it's getting cancelled. Then there is a notification service which sends either an email or an SMS to the customer once the order has been placed and payment is successful. So this is a typical example of an e-commerce store. Let's take an example. Someone comes to your e-commerce store and places an order. So once someone places an order for a product, then that is a significant change in state, because the product which was on sale earlier, now it's not on sale. The order has been placed for that order. Now the same product cannot be ordered again. So this is a significant change in state, and this is called an event. In the event-driven architecture, your order service will send an event to a event channel. So let's say this is an event channel. So in event-driven architecture, your order service will send an event to event channel. Now, once the event has been published to the event channel, any other service which wants to listen to this event, they can subscribe to this channel. So let's say payment service, inventory service, and notification service, they can all subscribe to this event channel, and they can listen to all the events whatever are happening on via the order service. So let's take an example. Once the order is placed, payment service will request for the payment. So payment service has to listen to any new order coming into the system. Similarly, inventory service will listen to this event so that it can update the inventory accordingly once the order is placed. Notification service will also listen to this event, because this has to send the notification message or email, whatever channel it is, it has to send a notification to the customer on the successful placement of the order. So all of these services are listening to this event. But now in event driven architecture, what is the difference is that there is an event channel in between your order service and all other services which are listening to this event. Now what is the benefit of these events or this event channel type of mechanism? The benefit, let's take an example. You don't have event channel. Let's take an example. So I have this depiction here. Let's say there is no event channel. In those cases, order service, whenever it will receive an significant change, that whenever any order has been placed, so order service will have to notify the payment service, the inventory service, and the notification service. So this is the responsibility of an order service now. Now it's a hard coupling. It's a tightly coupled architecture. Why? Let's say tomorrow, if there is another service, let's say service X, which also has to be notified, in that case also, it is the responsibility of order service to notify the new service in this architecture. So everything is dependent on order service in this type of architecture, which creates a tight coupling with the order service. So this is a problem with this architecture pattern. So that's why event-driven architecture came into picture and it's becoming popular. That in event-driven architecture, even if let's say a new service comes into picture, let's say service X comes into picture here, all X needs to do is that X needs to subscribe to this event channel. It has to subscribe to this event channel. There is no change required in your order service. Order service will keep on publishing the events. It will keep on publishing the event to event channel only, which it was doing earlier. But with the introduction of event channel, what will change now is that any service any new service or any future service needs to just subscribe to event channel, because events are already going to that event channel. So this creates a loosely coupled architecture, and it helps to achieve that distributed compute also. So you can have multiple services running in a distributed way, and all of those services can subscribe to this event channel. There is no dependency on order service now for all the dependent services. They can be notified via the event channel. Now in this type of architecture, there are three typical concepts. The system which generates an event, it's called an event generator. So this is event generator. The system which manages the event in terms of receiving the events or sending the events, so that is called event channel. And the system which accepts the events, which has to the system which has to be notified, which subscribes the event, is the event consumer. Event consumers. So there are typical three terminologies: event generator, which will generate the events; event channel, which you can think it's an intermediate layer which will place the events for some duration; and event consumer is something which will consume the event. So if you relate this architecture pattern, it's typically a pub-sub kind of a architecture. What I mean by pub-sub? So in pub-sub, let's say you have a event channel here, and somebody is publishing the messaging here, and somebody has subscribed to this channel and consuming the messages here. So it's a pub-sub kind of a architecture where somebody is publishing the messages and somebody is subscribing messages. And for event channel, Kafka is the great example. So different your publisher can publish the message to Kafka, and subscriber can subscribe to a Kafka topic which can consume the messages. So this is a great example which can be implemented in a microservice architecture pattern also. Let's say when you have multiple microservices which has to work independently, so different microservices can communicate with the help of an event channel following this event-driven architecture. So this is the concept of event-driven architecture, which helps you make your component loosely coupled, distributed, scalable. I hope you got the concept. If you like this video, please press the like button. Do share this with others, and do subscribe LimeGuru channel to support us. Thank you.